And I think we're good to go. I believe the topic that Tom and John, I'm the furry hairball, Tom. And
I'm John.
That's John. And property rights seems to be the topic. We just arbitrarily chose it. We're going to give a one shot, see what happens on it. I'll throw out for a start that without property rights, no rights exist whatsoever. Instead of rights, you have privileges. If you don't own your own body, your own life, the produce of your time, labor, and effort. Fun. Have fun.
Yeah. So we pretty much see eye to eye on this. I think that it's easy to get caught up in all kinds of technicalities, but the main thing that you have to remember is that you have the right and you have the control of your life and your body and the things that you possess, and there's no right for anyone else to tell you how to dispose of or do what you want with these things. As long as you are doing this in a way that's not affecting anybody that takes away from their rights, then there's no reason for anyone to be associated or in any way involved in your thing. So we can talk about technicalities,
Life,
but it's
liberty, property, the pursuit of happiness. I slipped one in there, but what the hell?
it's been spelled out in many different ways, and I think we've been very lucky to have grown up in a country in which the importance of these were spelled out to us hundreds of years ago, 230 years ago. So we need to remember these as we go forward, and it's easy to lose sight of them for fear of upsetting the greater good. But the greater good is composed of the good for the individual. It's important. There's a dog barking in the background.
There's a dog barking in the background. The neighbors have mentioned that there's a really large black fuzzy thing, 350 to 550 pounds, called a bear. I didn't tell this guy about that until just now. But rumored that there's a big black bear wandering around.
Yeah.
Maybe it's got cubs. Who the hell knows? When the dog stands on the deck, the dog's defending our property and not daring to get off the deck. Dog doesn't understand that I have a deed to something that goes like about another 150 yards down that way where the bear is, but the dog's going to just more narrow focus of property, which is probably a lot better than most bureaucrats that we know and
exactly.
see and
That's the point.
despise
That is
with
the
good
point.
reason.
The fact that animals, by their very nature, understand the ability to defend and the need to defend territory, i.e. property.
So that's like a right to life.
It's built
their
into,
own.
It's built into the DNA, and to deny it is to contort and to mess with what is in the very nature of our being.
So what would happen to an animal that doesn't defend its own right to life?
It would become...
Mr. Darwin. Oh, yeah, you're not Mr. Darwin. But what would happen from Mr. Darwin's perspective if an animal didn't defend its own life?
I think that the animal would probably not pass on its DNA.
And if the whole species was that way?
I think it would come to an end very soon. You might find...
Maybe we'd find in some layers of rocks or something. So, I wonder what happened to them.
That's right.
They were socialists.
Yes.
They sacrificed themselves for somebody else.
Right.
Whoa.
Right. I think
we get to stand on you.
Yeah.
We didn't defend our rights.
That's right.
The hell are you socialists?
Right. That's right. So it's
life, liberty, property, the pursuit of happiness, reputation. Pennsylvania State Constitution in the very beginning says you have the right to defend right to life, liberty, property, and reputation. Slightly different from the U.S. Constitution, but when you have Ben Franklin and some of these other folks, they have pretty good introspection on what's going on. They knew what happened with democracies when everybody could say, "Hey, let's make government the great fiction that we can live at somebody else's expense." Man, that dog is going nuts. I bet there's some big hairy thing out there.
I think the important thing is that it's easy to get confused about what is the purpose of government, and a lot of people think that you need to use...
Legitimate government? Illegitimate government?
Well, even legitimate government. I think a lot of people feel that you need to take the control of government to...
Is this legitimate?
To make a better world.
It was at one time, it wasn't. It is again.
To make to make a better world. But I think the important thing to recognize is that
thousands of years.
Although government can correct certain problems, that it's too easy to corrupt the tools that you put in place in government and to basically turn what could be a good thing into a bad thing. So you've got to always consider the needs of the individual, and it's like the book Gödel Escher Bach by what's that guy's name?
I have that book, but
Yeah,
Godel.
who wrote that again? Gödel Escher Bach by.
I have the book. I never read it. I thought it'd be smart if I just bought it.
What's the guy's name? Who wrote it? Adam? No.
Godel? No, I already said that.
Anyway,
It's thick. That's why I didn't.
but the point of that book is that order and what appears to be intelligence arises from the individual actions of local agents, and you do not need the ability to control from top down to create a smoothly functioning society. What you need is the wisdom of the crowd, basically each individual making his or her own decision that results in intelligence.
So you have
at
lots
a
of
larger
people.
level.
Some of them are morons, some of them are geniuses, some are averages, and they go off in these different directions, and some of them pick the right stuff, whether by design or by accident, and some of them pick the wrong stuff by design or by accident. And who benefits?
Douglas Hofstadter. The book was by Douglas Hofstadter. Gödel Escher Bach. Another book, The Wisdom of Crowds, which talked about a county fair in Scotland in which the average of the
I should have been using a pig.
of the guesses of the weight of a steer were closer to the actual weight of the steer than the guesses of any expert cattle person who was guessing the weight of the steer. The person who won was the cattle expert. However, when you averaged over the guesses over the crowd, they were, of course, within a couple of ounces of the true weight of the steer. So this is the important thing of each person deciding what is best for his or her own interests. And how is this related to
So when
property
you get
rights?
all the people together, they can tell when they have a lot of bull or not.
Yeah, there you go.
Very good. So basically, if you let a lot of people have their own decisions rather than a few select precious bureaucrats who are blessed with the wisdom of angels,
Yes.
actually you're going to have a much better chance of getting the right answer because
That's how
of
nature
the
works. That's how nature
diversity
works.
of stuff. The people who preach diversity and then want to regulate it
Right.
on their version of diversity,
Right.
these sort of have it, and then they don't have it at all because they're going to mandate it at the point of a government gun and tell you how it must be
It's
done.
not nice to fool Mother Nature, and this is the
Oh,
way
you can't.
Mother Nature works.
The laws of nature, you can't. It's like the IRS. That's the laws of men. Gravity is the law of nature. It treats everybody the same. Prince, pauper, whatever. Gravity sucks. Now for the IRS, you can like manipulate the rules and say, oh, you're a friend of Bill or a friend of Obama or a friend of whoever, George. You know, but gravity, like, I don't give a fuck. You all get treated the same.
That's right.
And so something that respects the rights of all individuals equally and grants special favors to none might be closer to a natural law as opposed to the unnatural crap that people, when they say, hey, let's use government to get what I want, as opposed to like government doing a legitimate function of protecting person and property and no more. Because every individual has the right to defend their life, their person, their property, and we extend to government the right to protect a privilege, not the right, a privilege. People give to government the privilege to extend their rights, but a lot of people reverse that and think the government grants them rights. We the people created the government. The government did not create we the people. Look at the biology. All the laws you write when a mother delivers a baby, it wasn't because of government, it's because of nature. It's the way the laws go. We got about a minute to wrap this up because it's about a 10-minute time frame. So our randomness stuff, if we have something that was based on property, rights, and good luck, sir. And I'll put in whatever snippets I can think.
Well, I know we've kind of gone off the track of just talking about property rights, but I think it's all part of the same thing. I think we all need to remember that we have the right of our bodies, of our own property, and as long as we're not impacting negatively on anybody else, that it's important to
Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness.
Yes. Important to exercise your rights and not infringe on the rights of others.
We can exercise our rights. We can exercise our lefts. Whatever. Any other last minutes before I hit the stop?
I think we'll sit the head stop.
Okay, this is merciful enough. We'll end it.